And just like that, GM Talk is back. Well, I've been on vacation and we have moved a little bit, and we have been having a lot of work here at KH Online. So unfortunately, there's been no videos for a long time. We are back, and it will be better in the future as usual. Today we're gonna look at unorthodox openings. You know, these guys that specialize in weird stuff and try to confuse you, and then they win a weird game, and you sit there like, what did I do wrong? And this cannot be true, and I hate it, and so on. So how to think, how to play is the topic of today. Usually players who use unorthodox openings, they're decent, good players. They know what the right moves are. They just like to be creative. And being creative is nice. Unfortunately, it's very annoying when people are creative and play very well. And actually, Jens Ove Friis Nielsen is a very creative player who plays well, fights very well. I used to beat him a lot, but somehow he's gotten much tougher. And recently, we just make it a lot of draws. So. And I didn't win this game either. Big spoiler alert. Okay, so let's get into it. I am black against, and he's that kind of guy, you know. This they like the Jobava, and I think he calls this the Rhino if you go with Bishop F4. I knew that he plays this a lot, and we played a weird games earlier where he might have been slightly better, but I was prepared for this this time. And basically, knight c3, it cannot be a mistake. You're moving the knight, it cannot be that bad, but it's not a good move either. Usually you would like to attack the center with the pawn, and here it's stuck on this square. Anyway, I had prepared this, and this is very aggressive, by the way. And if white is inclined to for a fight, he can go e4 and play an for instance like this Albin counter gambit with a one tempo up. It's still a bad gambit, and I believe that black should be definitely fine here, but this is of course possible. The thing is, he was not prepared for this, and in general you should think, because I played the Chigorin variation as black, which is like you get this position with black to move or white to move, and that's very unclear. But here it's not clear how white can use that tempo. Maybe he can play like a3 or something like that would be useful. Anyway, it's not completely clear. But I knew that Jens Ove, he likes to play this weird move. And to be honest, this must be a mistake. Of course, it's not a big mistake. You're allowed to play like this with the white pieces, but it's still... it seems like, okay, so you put your knight here, and now you put your bishop in here, and with general good moves, black should be able to get at least a comfortable position. So that's how you should approach this. You will get a comfortable position with good natural moves. Maybe you have to be a little bit wary about, because players who play this idea, they always got ideas. It's like when you play the Rhino, they want to play something with g4 and stuff, and I knew this because he plays this a lot on blitz. So knight f6, in general I don't want to put the knight here, but at this exact moment I'm wary that he might take here and go into some sort of setup like this, and e4. This is known from the Rogozin with reverse colors. So a lot of knowledge about reverse colors is a good thing here. Anyway, he played knight ge2, and this is, well, to be honest, this is just bad chess. He's putting the knight in, but it's a part of his pet setup, and of course he knows what he's doing, so he's got a good sense of how much he can get away with. So not only did he block this one, he also blocked this one. So he blocked both bishops to get his knights to weird squares. So with black, you can say you're already better here after 4 moves. The computer agrees with me. But it's of course a normal position. Anyway, knight here. I'm not really afraid of d takes c5 anymore, so I can put my knight on this square. Now comes another weird move, which will probably surprise you if you can guess it. But I knew that he would play this move, to be honest, because it's the only move that makes sense. When he put the knight on e2, this bishop has to find another way to go, because moving the knight somewhere looks really weird. So a3. Now, what's the point of that? Of course, it is if I go bishop f5 here, what will white do? He will of course go g4. And the idea is basically to put the bishop here and have like this kind of setup. And I knew that Jens Ove likes this setup. After the bishop moves, he go knight f4 and he will go for the bishop pair or something. So what is the plan here? Well, the plan is to play something like this here, probably the knight here and the other knight here, and maybe push the pawn and so on, and he will amass a lot of pieces on the king side, trying to annoy my position. And even though my position is harmonious and looks fine, I don't really have much to bite on. But here it is, h3 is not a natural move, so as I don't remember who said that, but you're allowed to make unnatural move in response to unnatural moves or plans. So here I played a move that completely spoils his plan. It's not really the move I would like to make, but it's not a bad move either. h5 looks very weird. The computer is not enthusiastic about this move. Still, the idea is he really wants to play d4, and this is totally off the table now, completely off the table. The downside is when you move a pawn, it cannot go back. And for the rest of the game, I really would like to, especially when I get my bishop to f5, when I get this bishop here, which is my dream, of course, because the bishop is very nice on this diagonal. I would really like to play this move, but it's not possible, of course. So you sometimes you have to give squares to get squares. And here I take knight d3 off the table, I take d4 off the table, and he has to settle for g3 and bishop f5, and already I'm threatening this move probably. So he immediately play a3 and I play e6, and it's already clear that black is definitely fine here. But you could also see that if I could play h6, you would say I have like a wonderful queen's gambit with the bishop f5, bishop f4 or something. And here the pawn looks like it's sailing away a little bit, but still I definitely prefer black. But at the moment, whenever anybody plays both pawns here on the rear, one step forward, it's hard to threaten something. It takes time, because the weak spots are usually these two places, right? So if you don't have access to these two squares, you're not gonna be able to threaten much there. So you have to develop calmly and play well here, and this I like this move for several reasons. First of all, I give myself the opportunity to castle this way. I have an X-ray effect on this one. I'm ready, because if you look at his pieces, they are like this might go here. So his pieces are all trained on this square. So I might like to overprotect it here in this situation. And also I'm waiting for him to put because if he's going to castle kingside, this pawn here could be weak, right? So b3. Okay, so the bishop is not going. Of course, he would like it to go here, but that means I have to take here first. Another plan for him, of course, is to at some point achieve e4. Still, at the moment, I'm very harmonious. And I think, okay, b3, that weakens the c file. So using logic, rook c8 must be fine. And the thing about castling queenside, well, I never really meant it, right? Bishop b2, and now I take, because there's no bishop g5 anymore, and I would like to open the c file, and also it makes sense to put it here. Also, I don't want him to be able to take and get something like c4 in and get what I would call a normal position. So I still think black is much better here in this situation. If you look at his pieces, they are like okay, but none of them are doing anything. But they, of course, have potential, and that's what Jens Ove is always looking for. He's very good at drumming up weird counterplay from the sort of back rank and so on. So you have to be careful when you play against him. He's an excellent counter player. Still, of course, black is clearly better here. Even, and I don't need the computer to tell me that. You can just see it. It's not really an a6, and I'm just basically I'm waiting for him to, if he castled queenside, I would of course go b5 and so on. He might go knight a4 here, would make some sense, and I would move my queen. Still, his position does make a weird impression. He would like the knight to be on somewhere, another square. Okay, he castled, and I move the knight. Basically, my idea is to use this move at some point to use it in an active way. So I want to put the knight on d6, and then I want to push h4. Also, I want to sort of make this knight unmovable due to the pressure here. And I also decided to take out the knight a4 option. And I believe that, even though, of course, if I could play h6, then his position is almost positionally lost. I'll just castle and drum up on the c file. But the h pawn gone sailing away gives him some ideas here. Knight f4, and of course he will look for that. The knight was very bad on e2, so it's starting to move. I say, okay, can we exchange that knight, because that would be fine for me. Still, I have better bishops at the moment. He has some weak squares, but his position is not that bad. This I thought was obvious move, but also thought, and this looks strange, but I don't really want him to get counterplay. I could play something like queen e7 or something. Probably this move is definitely fine. Annoying him here, and if he goes something like a4, I go b4, knight e4, and it's all. But he will probably sacrifice something with knight c5, and his bishop will be strong, and I will be a little bit annoyed with this. I don't. Basically, I want to have a maneuvering position against the Jens Ove, because I think I'm much better in that area of the game. Where if we have something like with some imbalances, it is clearly to his advantage. Anyway, I played, so I just took it and play, and now the h pawn is an advantage, of course, because he's soft here. And the knight looks good, but of course if you can keep the pawn here, it will not be that good. He moves the knight, I've moved the queen, and he moves the rook. Yes, somehow he's I think it's an unpleasant position for white, this one. I don't know what to play here. Rook e8 looks natural, so that's what I did. And I'm sort of hoping to get e5 in, maybe, and a4, and here I made a mistake. I think I played e5, and the thing is, I didn't want this. This is what I wanted to play, and then I was a little bit annoyed by this. But I think after something like this, I'm actually much better. The thing is, it's not really something like this, it looks like it's bad, but it's just his pieces are all bad, and these knights are good, and whenever he tries to do something, he will get hammered on the king side, and at the moment he's actually losing on the king side, and the bishop is out of the game. I think the computer believes this is much better for black. But it's just a thing like you think, I have such a nice advantage, and this is one of this is a mistake I often make when I play against guys like Jens Ove and this unorthodox style is I want too much. Here I just have a clear advantage. I have easy play, just play on the b file with the rook and the a pawns and so on, and it will not be easy for him. I will have many ways to get a counterplay and so on, and my king is actually very safe. So this would have been the smart way to play it, just to take, and that was also my original suggestion. But then I thought, he plays there, I play e5, and if he takes, I play e4, and I really transpose my advantage very much. So also I think he's a little bit lucky. It's not worse than it is because this looks kind of bad, but bishop d4 was smart, and I don't think I responded in the best way here. I took on a4, and I should probably just take the knight and keep the pawn on b5, trying to get my piece in. I think something like knight takes d4, bishop takes e4 is the best move. Still, it seems like it's gotten a little bit more unclear, and also I also have weaknesses. So e5, I'm not sure I like. I took here. It also looks kind of good, and queen c4, and this was actually a clear mistake. And it's not obvious that it's a clear mistake. So that's just the thing when and sometimes you just I don't know. I think still taking on d4 is natural. Maybe taking on d3 first, I don't know, but taking on d4 must be. Still, it's not so easy. He has to take back with a knight, and I don't know. The computer likes something like this, a knight e5. I'm already not really happy about this stuff, but on the other hand, I might probably play knight e4 on everything, on knight queen a7 and so on. So this is probably something like this is probably very good for me already. I was a little bit afraid that maybe he could take. Take on a6. Still, something like this looks very. This looks very good. But it was more unclear than I thought. I thought that queen c4 would be sort of a clean solution, and this, well, maybe sometimes you're just a little bit unlucky. Queen c4 looks good, right? It's putting pressure this way, it's threatening this pawn, it's pressuring this one, and it's covering this one. It's so many things it does at the same time. It looks very good, but it also allows the queen to be exchanged, and well, yeah, probably I should move the queen now. Instead I took this one, and this was just the wrong way to do it, because he gets a lot of counterplay, and here it's already completely equal. I thought, okay, I win a pawn, but the thing is, this pawn becomes dangerous, and of course he goes here like this, and here, and already it's very unclear, and I decided to, okay, I'm not gonna take any more chances here, and so on. Anyway, we are back here with GM Talks. I hope you liked this video on unorthodox chess. I was trying to give you some ideas about how to think, how to approach the game when people play like provocative, weird chess, but they're kind of good players. I think it's a little bit like playing against Nakamura or something, where he plays something g6 and a6, and you sit there, and then he starts to play really well, and you just, damn, it's really annoying. Anyway, we will have some serious news about the future, and don't worry, chess GM Talks is not going away, but we will do other things as well, and it will be very exciting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will get back to all of the comments I have not looked at for ages. I've been to Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Malaysia, and it's been wonderful. But now I'm back in cold Denmark, and they even moved my screen, but you can't see it because we have these things. This was GM Talks. Thank you for watching.